right, next we have from Boulder, Colorado, Michael Dougherty, running for Colorado AG. Hi, Michael.
Good evening, Summit County. It is great to be back with you. My name is Michael Dougherty. I'm the district attorney for Boulder County, and I'm running for attorney general. And I want to thank David Seligman. I think he had to drop off, but David was kind enough to switch times with me this evening. I'm actually in Evergreen with your district attorney, Heidi McCollum, who sends her best, and I'm honored to have her support. But David was kind enough to switch times with me. And I agree with what David said at the end of his remarks there about us requiring right now someone with experience as a fighter at the head of the Attorney General's office. I have experience and a proven track record of fighting for justice and the rule of law and also leading large law offices. And that second part is really important because there are 724 public servants working under Phil Weiser right now. And I want to make sure as the next Attorney General that we do not miss a beat in holding Donald Trump fully accountable. And when we think about taking Donald Trump to court, and we will be, that requires experience as a lawyer and a leader. I think you'd agree with me that if you're taking Donald Trump and his team of high-powered lawyers to court, it cannot be your first time walking into a courtroom. So I agree with David that experience really matters. And right now, I'm running for Attorney General because we are facing the greatest threat to our democracy in my lifetime. This country has survived serious tests in the past, but only because we had the right people in the right places standing up and doing our very best for our democracy and for our future. That's why I'm running for Attorney General. I've been a prosecutor my entire career, and I promise you as Attorney General, I will fight not just for criminal justice, but social justice, economic justice, environmental justice, and racial justice. This job requires a prosecutor who knows what it means to take people to court, regardless of how powerful they are or how well connected they are. I've prosecuted police officers and held them accountable. I've prosecuted politicians, including from our own party, and held them accountable when they broke the law. Because doing justice means doing it without fear and also without favor. That's what I will bring against Donald Trump. And the fight is definitely on. I started my career at the Manhattan District Attorney's Office in New York City. I specialized in sex crimes and homicides. I became the deputy chief of the sex crimes unit, overseeing 50 prosecutors working sex crimes cases, some of the most difficult and yet meaningful cases to work on and fight for justice for victims. And then I was put in charge of the entire office's day-to-day management and leadership of 1,300 people. We moved, my wife Antonia and I met at the Manhattan DA's office. She was actually, this is a sign of my commitment to consumer protection. She was the head of the identity theft and cybercrime unit. And we got married. We had 1-year-old twins when we moved from Brooklyn, New York, where we were living and where I was born. And we moved to Colorado so I could work for the Attorney General's office. I'm the one candidate who now is seeking to lead the office that he once worked in. And that experience was important because I became the head of the criminal section for the entire Attorney General's office. And I've handled cases all around the state: public corruption, environmental crimes, homicide cases, and the list goes on. And since becoming district attorney of Boulder County in 2018, I've had the responsibility of leading an office, and we are a leader in criminal justice reform, but also leading through different crises in our community. I handled the King Soopers mass murder prosecution and trial myself. I'm currently prosecuting the Pearl Street firebomber who committed a horrific anti-Semitic attack in Boulder. I led the investigation into the Marshall Fire, and it's been my honor to have to step forward and deliver justice through each one of those crises and storms that we faced in Boulder County. And right now, our country is living through a crisis and a storm. But I will share with you that I'm filled with resilience and hope tonight. And that's because of the people we have who are energized all around the state about this campaign, but energized also about flipping the House and making sure we do everything we can to fight against Donald Trump. I did a Know Your Rights training. I've been doing them all around the state of Colorado. In fact, many of you were there for the one I did in Summit County a couple months ago. I did one the other night, and there were 250 people in the room. 250 people who are engaged in the fight to protect our immigrants, to make sure we don't become the next Minneapolis. And I just want to say loud and clear, having prosecuted police officers and politicians, that I will hold ICE fully accountable when they commit crimes in Colorado. I am 100% committed to that. And tomorrow morning, you'll see an op-ed in the Daily Camera, if you want to read it, where I state that publicly, because I want the community to know it, but I also want ICE to know it. They should not be wearing masks and terrifying people. And I will join the lawsuit to demand they take down their mask. I will also fight in the state legislature to get private prisons in the state of Colorado banned. We should not have any private prisons in the state of Colorado. To me, it's an outrageous act to have any for-profit corporation putting profit over people. We see immigrants being terrified and terrorized around our country right now. And as your next Attorney General, I just want to say, not on my watch. And I have a proven track record of standing and fighting for justice.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you, everybody. Have a great night.